And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Garage Game Day Sports. I'm your host, as always, Louis Longoria. You can find me at Game Day Garage on Twitter. Like, comment, hit that subscribe button down below on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. What a difference a week makes, guys. The Dallas Cowboys looked absolutely phenomenal yesterday, albeit against less than average competition, but still you cannot discount a 43-3 destruction of the Atlanta Falcons. I'm talking the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons game. Woo, what a performance all across the board. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching, all across the board. Fantastic. Fantastic. The Cowboys improved to 7-2 with a 43-3 blowout win over the Atlanta Falcons. Boy, I tell you, I really don't know where to start, but I'm going to go ahead and start with the obvious. Dan Quinn sticking it to his former team. After they canned him last year, he bounced around in Detroit, made his way here to Dallas. Man, and he has revitalized this defense, first of all. But the way the defense responded yesterday after a disappointing and embarrassing home blowout loss to the Broncos, who got blown out themselves yesterday by the Eagles, but that's a different story for a different day. Dan Quinn had this team ready to go, and right out of the gate, we got the ball, we won the toss, didn't defer, wanted the ball, boom, scored a touchdown, 7-0. Atlanta came out, got an opening, a first quarter field goal, and that was it. That's all we conceded. That's all we gave up. 117 passing yards in total to Matt Ryan. Josh Rosen came in through a few times, but no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Our starting corners, every one of them got a pick. Jordan Lewis, oh man, I'm going to talk about him in a bit. He had a hell of a game. Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Trevon Diggs added another pick to his total. That's 8 for the year. So the legend of Trevon Diggs continues to grow. But just this defense just was everywhere. They had hands on balls, hands on defenders. They were making plays, tackles. They didn't let Cordero Patterson into space. They didn't let him do anything. They kept Kyle Pitts in check. Aside from, a few catches he made on that opening drive, that's all they conceded to him. And he's going to be a matchup problem for years to come in the league. That size, that strength that he has. When Ryan went to him a couple times early, I thought he was going to be a problem. And I thought, oh man, this is going to be some sort of, maybe not a Megatron-esque game for the Lions, what they did to us a few years back. But I thought it was going to be the beginning of a monster, 10 catch, 160 yard touchdown or 2 touchdown performance for Kyle Pitts. Our defense put a stop to that very quickly. They went for it a couple of times on 4th down, and it was kind of reminiscent of what we did against the Broncos last week. Atlanta went for it on 4th down on 2 occasions. They failed both times, one of which would have likely resulted in a Younghoe Koo field goal that would have made it 7-6, and at least at the time, a more manageable game. Of course, that didn't work out that way. We made a stop. We grinded their momentum. Their momentum just halted totally, and they were never able to bounce back. And we just put touchdown after touchdown after touchdown on the board, and play after play on defense, and just quarterback hits, tackles for losses, pass deflections, what you name it, whatever you wanted, the Cowboys got it, and we got it in spades. We just made play after play. Almost every starter on defense had some sort of noteworthy play, whether it was a sack, a tackle for loss, a pass deflection, a blocked punt like Dorrance Armstrong had. Just play after play, our guys looked dominant in this game. But I want to give a shout out to 2 guys, who don't get a ton of love outside of, the sexy defensive picks. Your Trevon Diggs, your Micah Parsons, your Randy Gregory's when he played. Of course, he was out in this game. Jordan Lewis and Dorrance Armstrong. Take a bow, gentlemen. Y'all had a hell of a game. Jordan Lewis, 3 pass deflections, had an interception also. 3 of those pass deflections came on a back-to-back 3rd and 4th down tries by the Falcons. Jordan Lewis said, did not let it happen. 2 pass deflections back-to-back, 3 in total. He had himself a game. And Dorrance Armstrong, my goodness, a sack, tackle for loss, and then he had the blocked punt of Dustin Colquitt that Nashawn Wright recovered in the end zone. That led to a touchdown, an exclamation point at the end of the first half. That made it 36-3, and the Cowboys could pretty much coast the rest of the way. Them two, I wanted to give them some love because they showed out today. They balled out, and they really helped this Cowboy defense just punctuate a dominant effort over the Atlanta Falcons. Let's go ahead and switch to the offense. I want to start with the offensive line. The offensive line looked a hell of a lot better than last week. And you had Terrence Steele get moved from right tackle to left tackle. You had La'el Collins come in. You didn't have Tyron Smith, and we didn't have him again today, but what a difference just one game makes, and Steele looked a lot more comfortable at left tackle. La'el Collins, you had a couple penalties here and there. Looking at you, Connor Williams, a couple of, penalties on the same drive. I think it was late in the fourth quarter, though. The game was out of reach, but you still don't want to have those. You want to clean those up. You don't want them to carry over in the next game, especially with us traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. But this offensive line, I was very pleased. They kept Dak upright, did not allow a sack all game. They opened holes. They let Dak have the time he needed to run through his progressions, to go through his routes and make plays with his arms, with his legs. He ran for that touchdown in the fourth quarter that really put a stamp on the game. But the offensive line, I was very pleased with the offensive line, top to bottom. And like I said, the penalties, do need to get cleaned up, but overall, a very good effort. Zeke and Pollard, didn't set the world on fire with their rushing performance. They only averaged, about 3.1 yards per carry, but they made plays when they mattered. Pollard caught a lot of passes today. Zeke caught a few. Of course, had the 2 touchdown runs. Once they got down into the red zone, you had the jumbo package. We brought out Connor McGovern. We were ready to roll, baby. We're ready to rumble. And McGovern just helped push the pile. Zeke made his way through, cashed in on 2 touchdowns. And then, Dak's touchdown run late in the game. And I really want to hammer home, too, that reminds me the 5 red zone trips the Cowboys made. We cashed in on all 5 of them, but it gets better. We didn't just cash in on all 5 red zone trips. We cashed them into touchdowns. 5 red zone trips resulted in 36 points. 36 because of the 2-point conversion we went for because Atlanta gave us a free yard on a penalty. But 5 red zone trips, 5 red zone touchdowns. It does not get any more efficient than that. And speaking of efficient, of course, I want to talk about our fearless leader on offense, Dak Prescott. Much more effective, mobile, accurate than he was last week. In my opinion, of course, hindsight's 20/20, but in my opinion, he probably shouldn't have played last week. You wanted to save him another week. You wanted to make sure that calf was 100% or as close to 100% as possible. But hey, what's done is done. But Dak had a couple of inaccurate throws in the first quarter, but besides that, he settled in nicely. He made throws with his arm. He made plays with his legs. Of course, the rushing touchdown. He got his receivers involved. We had 8 different receivers catch a pass in the first half. 10 in total. He got out to 10 different receivers, got the ball out. They made plays. We had 10 receivers catch a ball. 6 of them catch multiple passes, including Sean McKeon. I want to give him a shout out because the injury to Blake Jarwin. So with Schultz, of course, obviously starting tight end, McKeon slid into the backup tight end role, had himself a couple of catches. Zeke, Pollard caught passes. CeeDee Lamb, of course, 6 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. He, of course, was going to get it done because A.J. Terrell, before his injury, was on Cooper. So I figured Cooper's effectiveness as far as catching the ball was going to be somewhat hindered. But CeeDee Lamb made up for that in spades. 2 catches. Gallup had a key catch. So Dak spreading the wealth, spreading the ball around, and not allowing the Falcons to really zero in on anybody either. So a great effort from the offense. And Dak Prescott, that touchdown run, I've harped on it a couple times already. But running through Walker, Atlanta's linebacker, running through him at the goal line, at the time I was like, what are you doing? Like, get the first down, slide, or dive for the end zone, or do something, or run out of bounds. But he ran through, and that just shows the different mental toughness makeup of this team. You have your foot on the gas, you slam it. Your foot on the neck, you step on them. And the Cowboys, this is just a different team than we've seen in years past, where a loss like last week may have set them back a few weeks, or you would have seen a close game where they would have screwed around with the Falcons much longer than they should have, and the Cowboys just came out and laid a 40-point beatdown on them. So I'm glad to see that type of recovery after a tough loss like last week, and at home no less. What a performance. The Cowboys, of course, improved to 7-2. We've got the Chiefs. We've got to travel to Arrowhead, a tough place to play and a tough place to win. And we all saw what the Chiefs did to the Raiders last night. They dropped 41 on Vegas, in Vegas. So whether that's the Chiefs returning to form or if that was kind of an aberration and the Chiefs are kind of coming back down to earth a little bit, they're still a dangerous 6-4 team. They've made the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. It's going to be a tough place to win, but I think the Cowboys will be up to the challenge, even with no Tyron Smith. We still don't know his status, but no DeMarcus Lawrence. Randy Gregory's still on IR, so he'll be back at the earliest, the December 2nd game against the Saints. So he's out. The Chiefs game, he'll be out on Thanksgiving against the Raiders. But the next two games, one of them very winnable, at the least. The Raiders game on Thanksgiving, very winnable. And I know we've had some struggles on Thanksgiving, but I think the Cowboys, I think this team has enough to overcome that, and this mental makeup of the Cowboys is just incredible, and I'm loving what I'm seeing on offense, defense, special teams, coaching. The play calling, of course, with Kellen Moore getting a little bit cute there at the end, but the different looks we get from Kellen Moore, the different looks from Dan Quinn. I'm loving what I'm seeing from this Cowboys team. But yeah, the Cowboys 7-2. We've got the Chiefs. We've got the Raiders on Thanksgiving. Then we got New Orleans the week after. It's a Thursday night game. Of course, we always get a Thursday game after the Thanksgiving game. I did see something interesting on Twitter with DeMarcus Lawrence. He posted a picture with a caption "soon." So I don't know if that means the Chiefs game. I don't know if that means the Raiders on a short week. I'm not sure if I would really be feeling that if he came back on a short week of practice. So to me, it's a long shot for the Chiefs. I would say no to the Raiders on Thanksgiving unless he's really healed up and ready to rumble. I would say if I were a betting man, which I kind of am, I would say the Saints game. But who knows? It may be sooner than that. So that would be an awesome sight to see DeMarcus Lawrence back. We get Gregory in a couple of weeks, and Tyron Smith, we'll see his status going forward. But we did get Michael Gallup back this game. So just an overall dominant win. I was very pleased by the Cowboys, and I hope to see this continuing going forward. 3.5 game lead in the NFC East, so we've still got that big lead on the NFC East. Just got to keep winning. We've got 4 division games still down the road. We've got the Eagles once, the Giants once, we've got Washington twice. So still plenty of time for other teams to catch up, so we don't really want to take our foot off the gas just yet. But I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Cowboys. I will be back later this week to break down the Cowboys-Chiefs game at Arrowhead. It's going to be a huge matchup. Everybody's going to be all over this game. So feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. Like, comment. Let us know what you think. The Cowboys 40-point winners. Once again, 43-3. You could follow me at Game Day Garage on Facebook. Or on Twitter, excuse me. You can like Garage Game Day Sports on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on all the socials. I will see you guys later in the week. Have a good one, guys.